Time Warner Cable is pleased to be an underwriting sponsor for Carolina Week.
Coming up on the March 4th edition of Carolina Week,
we'll take a look at the progression of Chapel Hill's most high-profile murder case.
The legal system is responding, but what do students have to say?
In sports, the men's lacrosse team is undefeated. We'll show you why they could be championship bound.
Weathercaster Corey Davis will tell us about the great weather that should be here just in time for spring break.
All that and a special musical tribute to Eve Carson.
Carolina Week starts right now.
From the James F. Goodman Studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, connecting campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
Tomorrow marks the one-year anniversary of the death of our student body president, Eve Carson. I'm Carly Swain.
And I'm Elizabeth Edmonds. This evening, we're remembering her life and her legacy.
Our team coverage begins with a look at the legal progression of the murder case.
Leave it to a university to talk about an issue that everyone has an opinion about, but no one seems to want to discuss. Leave it to life to test us when we least expect it. In March of 2008, questions of life and death stopped being academic for students at UNC Chapel Hill. Undergraduates in the drama department were rehearsing Dead Man Walking, a play about capital punishment, as part of a year-long examination of the death penalty. Then the words on a page came to life. A young woman was found murdered on a residential street near campus.
At approximately 5 a.m., Demario James Atwater, 21 years old, was taken into police custody after he was observed exiting the residence. Warrants have been served on Atwater, charging him with first-degree murder in the death of Eve Carson.
The performance of Dead Man Walking came and went, but the pain of losing one of our own sent a shockwave through the university community. Since March of 2008, two suspects, Demario Atwater and Lawrence Levitt Jr., have been held in jail on charges in connection with Eve Carson's murder. Lawrence Levitt Jr. is charged with first-degree murder. He has a pending indictment and is awaiting a superior court date. Levitt was a juvenile at the time of the murder and therefore ineligible for the death penalty, but Atwater was 21. Demario Atwater has pled not guilty to 4 charges. One of them is carjacking resulting in a death, and the U.S. Attorney General has authorized Orange County District Attorney Jim Woodall to pursue the death penalty.
Should one man lose his life for ending someone else's? Federal authorities in the case of Demario Atwater believe so. Atwater could be the first person sent to death row in North Carolina in 36 years. In federal court last week, Atwater pled not guilty to 4 charges. One of those charges, carjacking resulting in a death, is the charge that makes him eligible for capital punishment. Even though Eve's parents are opposed to capital punishment, District Attorney Jim Woodall is seeking the death penalty. Eve's good friend Harrison Jobe is bothered by that.
I really dislike how the murder of Eve Carson has been politicized by the North Carolina Congress all the way up to the federal level. I think it's very distasteful and just really disgusting.
Jobe thinks justice would be better served for whoever is convicted on Eve's murder to get a sentence of life in prison.
Carson's closest friends have strong opinions about the death penalty, but how does the greater student body feel? Jennifer Carpenter found out.
We know that Eve was against capital punishment, but what about the community she left behind? We asked students.
I'm against the death penalty.
I'm against capital punishment. I've never been for it.
I'm for the death penalty.
Yes, death penalty is appropriate.
The majority of students we talked to haven't changed their minds. So why is North Carolina pursuing the death penalty for a person who didn't believe in it, in a community that doesn't support it?
I think North Carolina is seeking the death penalty because this is UNC. This is the first university. This is like one of the most famous schools in the nation, and it's just like you killed one of our iconic figures.
Maybe it's just been so publicized. I think they just got their chance to go for it, so that could be it. But yeah, it boggles me.
So why is Chapel Hill just letting this happen?
That was Jen Carpenter reporting. Eve's death brought out raw emotions, especially related to the appropriateness of the death penalty. Many Carolina students found out about Eve's death during what would have otherwise have been a happy time, during spring break or study abroad experiences.
And looked over the page, and I just remember my heart just dropping and thinking, how is that possible? How did that happen? I mean, that was the first thing that I just had so many questions, and of course, just feeling really separated and not sure of exactly what was going on. And it kind of, it hit me part of the way while I was there, but then it really fully affected me once I got back to school.
Like when I first heard, I was like totally taken aback because I almost forgot that I even was a student at UNC. And it really, it brought me back to like reality, almost brought me back in touch with home.
And Eve truly did consider this place home, and she dreamed big. Some of her dreams for UNC have come true. Eve envisioned a better campus-wide alert system. She made a passionate appeal for such a system right after the 2007 tragedy at Virginia Tech.
Besides an informational right now or an emergency letter from the chancellor, there's not much we can do to get in touch with students. And obviously that was a problem they faced at Virginia Tech.
Officials launched the Alert Carolina system on March 19th of last year. Eve envisioned a brighter future for children and was dedicated to philanthropy. Last fall, the UNC chapter of Pi Beta Phi hosted a 5K race and sent proceeds to the Eve Carson Memorial Fund, Clyde Irwin Elementary School, and a program for preschool readers called First Book. Another one of Eve's dreams for UNC was a one-year scholarship for promising juniors. Reporter Hadley Heath introduces us to a young lady who's living out Eve's vision of Carolina Way.
Eleanor Benami is the first ever recipient of the Eve Marie Carson Memorial Junior Year Scholarship. Eleanor shares Eve's passionate curiosity for life and has widespread interests.
I could say that I'm interested in just about anything or everything. I have developed a particular passion for sustainability-related issues. I like going outside, working outside. I work at Battle Park, and that's been wonderful and amazing, and I love having that kind of grounding experience of being able to be out there.
Even on the coldest days of the year, Benami works at Battle Park, keeping the trails clear and beautiful so other students and community members can enjoy them. Back on campus, Benami is a double major in international studies and economics. She says she likes to learn outside of the classroom as well, and calls herself a student of life.
So every interaction I've had with other people has in some way shaped or formed or influenced who I am, and so I'm thankful.
Eleanor says she knew Eve casually and feels honored to receive an award in her name.
To be so directly affiliated with her legacy is, to me, an incredible honor, and also an incredible responsibility.
But it's a responsibility she's proud to bear. In Chapel Hill, I'm Hadley Heath, Carolina Week.
The university community continues our remembrance of Eve tomorrow with a ceremony at 4 in the pit. Chancellor Holden Thorpe will issue a special call to service to honor Eve's commitment to her fellow students. Carolina Week continues after this.
Where's the whole week? There's no whole week. Hey, excuse me? Excuse me, sir. Something wrong? Yeah, there's something wrong. You want to get me some whole wheat? Oh, come on. Hey, hey, amigo. Hey, I asked you for whole wheat bread. This is not what I wanted. El Wheato.
Sorry for the confusion.
You know, that's the problem with these people. If you want to serve Americans, you got to learn to speak the language. You know what I'm saying?
No, sir. I don't. Enjoy your lunch.
Imagine the power of one voice. Click freedomcenter.org to find yours.
Can I help you, sir?
I found these over by the stairs.
Okay, thank you.
What are they?
Love handles. Lots of people lose them taking the stairs instead of the escalator.
Most college students need money, especially before spring break. For women, donating some of their eggs might seem like an easy way to make a few $1,000s. Health reporter Nick King has more.
Egg donors needed.
This Daily Tar Heel ad from UNC Healthcare seeks healthy, non-smoking women 18 to 32 years old. Chapel Hill is full of young women who match that description.
I would probably ask what kind of pain was involved and if there was any chance that having kids later on would be more difficult.
That's a question many women ask at the Center for Reproductive Medicine in Cary.
What are the chances that something will, cause me not to have any fertility or be infertile at that point? And really and truly, when we look at everything, it's less than 1%.
Doctors know little about the long-term health effects for those undergoing the procedure, but they warn donors of risks including bleeding, infection, and ovarian hyperstimulation. Potential donors fill out a 16-page application, probing personal and medical information. If accepted, women at the Cary Clinic receive $3,000 for their egg donation.
I want those patients not to donate for the money, but rather donate because they want to help someone.
That someone, the potential mother, needs to synchronize her cycle with the donor. The donor then gives herself a series of daily hormone injections for nearly 2 weeks.
We're going to get the donor to produce maybe 10 eggs.
Fertility specialists then combine those eggs with the husband's sperm to create embryos, implanting the two best into the potential mother. The CDC says there's a 52% chance one of those embryos will result in a live birth. Egg donation is complicated, but donors make money and have a chance to help another woman fulfill a dream. In Chapel Hill, I'm Nick King, Carolina Week.
Well, that's certainly an alternative way to help someone with a need. The donation process takes about a month.
As spring break nears, students are wrapping up midterms and finalizing break plans, but not all of us will be going on pricey getaways. Spring break service trips are becoming increasingly popular. This year, some UNC students will travel to 5 U.S. cities and Mexico to address issues ranging from hurricane relief to urban poverty. Junior Alexandra Zagbayou is finalizing plans to lead her group to Phoenix City, Alabama, where they will rebuild a church that was burned down by arsonists.
And I think it also allows people to challenge what they believe, which is what college is about. And it's a cheap and expensive way to go somewhere new for spring break and be able to help your community.
Until spring break officially starts on Friday, the library will be the primary destination for many students. But right after that last midterm, the key question will be...
So where are you guys going for spring break?
We're going to Atlanta, Georgia, to see the aquarium and Six Flags. So.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that the aquarium has hammerhead sharks because I really like hammerhead sharks.
Going home to High Point, furniture capital of the world.
I'm going on a bike trip in Florida from Jacksonville to West Palm Beach and back.
I'm going with my environmental studies class, coral reef ecology, to St. John to snorkel for 10 days. So.
Are you excited? That must be awesome.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So it'll be a nice break from classes.
If the economy is keeping you from flying to your spring break destination, there are a few things to do before you hit the road. If you're heading on a long road trip, a quick detour to the mechanic should be your first stop. Changing your oil and checking tire pressure can increase your gas mileage and keep you from spending time on the side of the road. If you spend time at the beach during the break, head to the car wash to clean off the salt that can corrode surfaces of your car. Some UNC professors are prepared to work harder in light of the economic issues facing the university. Professors have suggested that increasing the number of classes they teach could help alleviate the pain of possible layoffs. That could lead to more classes that are over-enrolled and crowded. The normal load for most professors is 2 or 3 classes per semester. Some teaching assistants are worried that the majority of the added load could fall on them.
They are the ones grading. They're the ones meeting with students. They need to be consulted in this. It can't just be a decision by professors.
It looks like this time it won't just be the TAs who are picking up the slack.
And now we're joined by weather forecaster Corey Davis.
Yeah, Corey, how's our spring break weather gonna look?
Well, you know, we've been cool today and we've been cool over the last few days, so we have much milder weather on the way. In fact, the poor snowman you'll see in just a second might not make it through spring break. However, I'll have your warmer spring break forecast coming up in just a second.
What's wrong, Mrs. Jenkins? Come on, you can tell me.
Well, there's no funding for the new reading program, and I've tried everything and nothing works. It's not fair. Nobody ever gives me funding.
When adults run out of ideas, they can feel as frustrated as kids. ConnectForKids.org has thousands of resources for helping kids in your community.
Mrs. Jenkins, holding your breath is not going to get you any more funding.
ConnectForKids.org, guidance for grown-ups.
You know, Clarence, you and I should hang out more often. You know, he wears these cheap suits, but they look good on him.
So she says, why lobster?
You never know when a colon polyp is going to show up.
Aunt Ethel, you've been ducking me since '99 at St. Mary's. You
Get
owe
the
me a
polyp
pie.
early and stop colon cancer before it starts.
Do I look fat in this?
Don't wait for symptoms. Get the test. Get the polyp.
They love me. They want me here, don't you? Come on.
Get the cure.
These are my peeps.
There's something about you, baby. I can't get enough. There's something about you, baby. I got you looking at me, I'm gonna call you bluff. There's something about you.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Have you been a dad today?
Down to the morning light.
Hi, and thanks for sticking with us on Carolina Week. I'm forecaster Corey Davis, and I hope you didn't put your jacket away quite yet, because it has been a cool day today. But there is a big change on the way. We're going to warm up later this week, have a weekend warm-up in store for you, and along with that, we'll get off to a sunny start to spring break here in Chapel Hill. Let's switch over to the national map, and you see there are just a few high clouds right now moving across the Midwest. No major weather systems to talk about, though, so much of the eastern half of the country is staying clear right now. If we zoom into the southeast, you see there are just a few rain showers right now moving across South Carolina, but most of North Carolina right now is cloud-free, and that's because of a high-pressure system sitting right over us here in the triangle. Now, this high-pressure system has kept us clear and dry today and also brought us some calm winds. And as this system moves off to the east, we're going to start seeing the counterclock or the clockwise flow bring us a warm southerly wind for the weekend. That's what will help bring our temperatures way up. So let's take a look at what you can expect for your spring break. We'll start off in the Caribbean. Temperatures mainly in the mid to upper 70s, 72 degrees down in Kingston, Jamaica. Expect mostly sunny skies, although we can't rule out a slight chance of rain in the southern locales, but for the most part, looks like great weather for you. A little bit further north in the southeast, 71 degrees over on the Gulf Coast in Panama City, in the 70s with 65 in Cape Hatteras. That's the cool spot, but perfect weather for you. Sunny skies, so once you get to your destination, head out to the beach and enjoy it. It looks like great weather for your weekend. Closer to home here in North Carolina, even Asheville will make it up to 70 degrees on Saturday. Remember, a week ago at this time, we were talking about snow for the weekend, so this is a big improvement in our weather in the span of just a week. Mid-70s here across the Piedmont, so even if you're just headed home to see your family, it looks like perfect weather for you, partly sunny skies. So let's take a look at what's for now a cooler forecast for tonight. Keep your coat handy because it'll be about 26 degrees here in the triangle tonight with clear skies and calm winds for you. As we head through the day tomorrow, though, you can shed that coat fast, though. 61 degrees, slightly above normal for this time of year. With those sunny skies and light winds, it might put you in the spring break spirit just a little bit early. And here's your 4-day forecast to kick off your spring break. Again, temperatures in the 60s with sunny skies tomorrow. By Friday, we'll start to see some clouds move in, but you can't complain about the clouds with this kind of weather. In the 70s Saturday and Sunday, it's time to dust off those t-shirts. It's finally that type of weather again with your spring coming soon. Don't worry about those overnight lows. Just keep a jacket handy. So, guys, it looks like Mother Nature's cooperating. A warm spring break for UNC.
Those temperatures came just in time.
Absolutely.
Just in time.
Thanks so much, Corey. Cherokee Language 101 will be a new class at UNC this fall, but some students are getting a head start through a new program. 15 students will get to experience Cherokee life in Oklahoma. UNC's Department of American Studies is hosting a 3-week study abroad opportunity to educate students about Native American peoples. Participants will learn about Cherokee laws and social issues. They'll discuss subjects such as tribal health concerns, organic farming, and environmental activism. And now we're joined by sportscaster Jason Kahn.
Yeah, this cold temperatures that Corey was talking about canceled yesterday's baseball game, but not today's, right, Jason?
Oh, no. They're doing quite well at the game today, and we're going to talk about that just a little bit. A lot of offense going on, so good news at the Bosch. Coming up in sports, a look at afternoon baseball at that game at the Bosch. Shields going for win number 8.
Awaken your creativity. Do your thing at the Art School at the Art Center in Carborough.
Light switches. I'm big enough to brush my teeth by myself. I'm the tallest kid in my class. I haven't worn diapers in years. I'm much less likely to vomit at random now. My cups don't have lids anymore. Mine either. I'm getting pretty big. But to help me survive a car crash, I still need you to give me a boost.
Until they're 4'9", use a booster seat in the car and don't let them down.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many. But what if you've had just one too many? Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome to Carolina Week Sports. This is the right place to be at this time. I'm Jason Kahn. Tonight, the men's basketball team is headed to Hokie headquarters for its last road game of the regular season. Carolina is currently 25-3 on the season, and 2 of those losses have come on the road. Part of the problem might be the backup players. With an unsure bench for most of the season, it has taken the Heels some time to finally get used to the lineup. In road games, the bench players haven't been able to contribute as much as they usually do at home, shooting only 36.5% as opposed to the 40.5% at home. With the regular season winding down, the bench is going to have to pick it up and with any luck, help the Heels to a win tonight. For the second year in a row, the final Duke game falls during spring break. So we want to know, how do students feel about that?
I'm not going to be able to watch the game, and it's one I look forward to the most each year, and so it's really frustrating for me.
It's one of the most anticipated basketball games and events on the campus throughout the year, and the fact that it's during spring break sort of devalues it, sort of detracts from it. It's not going to be as special and amazing, just epic.
To be honest, I actually don't mind because I think it's finally an opportunity for more dedicated fans to actually get to attend.
And now we're going to take it to Boschmer Stadium where the baseball Heels are hosting the Gardner-Webb Running Bulldogs. Sam Rosenthal is there.
Hey guys, I'm here at Boschmer Stadium on what turned out to be a chilly but beautiful spring day. A few fans may have started their spring break early as there's more empty seats here than full ones, but the ones that are here really enjoyed a good Tar Heel performance in the early going. Tar Heels opened up a 1-0 lead. Gardner-Webb quickly countered, but UNC broke through with 3 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning on key hits by Garrett Gore and Mark Flory. That game put the Tar Heels up 4-1. Gardner-Webb added a run in the top of the 5th. Right now, the Tar Heels are up 4-2. And back to you, Jason.
And again, as Sam had stated, that 4-2 score came in the 5th inning. And since that time that Sam was able to relay that information to us, the Tar Heels are now up 10-3 off of a home run from Mark Fleury that brought in all 4 runners that were, of course, on base. Now, the 3rd-ranked men's lacrosse team took on Detroit Mercy Tuesday and showed no mercy. Carolina got off to a quick start. Jimmy Dunster gave the Heels a 1-0 lead. Carolina took control in the second quarter, scoring 7 goals, including this one by Gavin Petraka. Billy Bitter put the Heels up 10-2 at half, and they didn't look back. In the 3rd, Kreider DiPietro fired this one in for one of his 2 goals on the afternoon. Then it was freshman Chris Lane who scored the first goal of his young career. Matthias McCall put the finishing touch on Carolina's 19-4 victory. The Tar Heels improved to 7-0 on the season. Well, the sport is wildly popular in Asia, and it's rising in popularity here. I found one member of the UNC Badminton Club who, you can say, has some seniority.
Badminton is a sport based on stamina, strength, and mobility. It sounds like a game for the youth. Tell that to 78-year-old Ralph Balzac.
I decided to give badminton a try, and when I tried it, I liked it. It was more demanding physically, and I like that.
For the past 5 years, Balzac has trained with the UNC Badminton Club. Club advisor C.D. Poon says the old-timers got game.
It's amazing. For 5 years, he has been only 5 years. He improved so much, and he beat a lot of people.
Balzac hasn't defeated Badminton Club president Benjamin George, who's been smashing a shuttle for 15 years. There aren't many with George's resume, which is why he characterizes the game as exotic.
It's not very popular here in the U.S., and when I show what exactly we're doing to other people, they're surprised. really surprised.
George says not even Tyler Hansbrough can break records on this court.
It takes a lot of work. It's not something you can just go in and play.
Poon, who has more than 3 decades of experience, agrees. He says in badminton, 70% of your success depends on footwork, which might be a hurdle for a guy Balzac's age.
If move back and forth many times, your leg becomes so lazy and tired. You just don't want to move at all.
Despite his pain, Balzac returns every week.
Ralph is really an encouragement to us all. You can watch him, and he just keeps going at it.
I can imagine that by the time I am at his age, I wish I can be that good.
And Balzac doesn't mind being in that group.
And I wish I could do that at his age as well. But the badminton club hopes to finally be recognized as a club team at the end of this year, guys.
Wow. That looks very intense. I wouldn't want to play with that guy.
Oh, me neither.
Thank you, Jason.
The problem.
When Carolina Week returns.
More about remembrance of former student body president Eve Carson.
The odds of a child being in a fatal automobile accident are 1 in 23,000. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 166. The odds say it's time to listen. To learn the signs of autism, visit autismspeaks.org.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
My name's Lisa, and in 9 years I'll be an alcoholic.
Hi, Lisa.
I'll start drinking in 8th grade, and I'll do some things I don't really want to do. So by the time my parents talk to me about it, alcohol won't be my only problem.
Kids who drink before age 15 are 5 times more likely to have alcohol problems when they're adults. So start talking before they start drinking.
Many of us knew and admired Eve Carson.
We end our show with a special musical tribute to her, written and performed by former Clef hanger David McCush.
We know what you'd say if you saw us today. It's alright to smile. Dry her
Oh, it's been an emotional day.
You should have seen us tonight.